What if there was a way to craft messages so that you could be more persuasive? Get others to do what you want. A model, a step-by-step process. There is. I'm Dr. Richard C. Harris, and I want you to pick up a tool that you can use every day to become more persuasive. Monroe's Motivated Sequence. Monroe's Motivated Sequence is a speech organization pattern devised for persuasion by Alan H. Monroe of Purdue University. Dr. Monroe popularized this model of persuasion while chairing the communication department of Purdue in the 1930s. Not only is it useful for designing persuasive speeches in which you want your audience to take a specific action, it will also be found in almost every commercial, advertisement, and self-help book you will ever see. It's also handy to know just for day-to-day conversations that you might have with your boss or your spouse or friends. The genius of Monroe's Motivated Sequence is that it taps into both our logical and our emotional brains. We like to think that we make all of our decisions based on careful, rational, unbiased thinking. In other words, logically. Actually, we make our decisions firing first the emotional sections of our brains, and then the logical sections start firing to bring support to the emotional-based decision we just made. I doubt that Monroe understood all of that back in his day. However, he did understand how to persuade people. In persuasive speaking, you have to cover some specific steps in order to consistently persuade people. The 5 steps of Monroe's Motivated Sequence are attention, need, satisfaction, visualization, and action. They may not always be used in that exact order, however, it is very effective when they are. In some cases, people have sprinkled need, satisfaction, and visualization throughout the body of their presentations, and that too can be effective. But what do they each mean? Let's start with the attention step. In order to persuade anyone, you must first gain their attention. This is true for any type of speech, and it correlates with your opening. Start with a bang. Do something, say something to grab the audience's attention. Your audience will decide whether they like you or not in the first 7 seconds of your talk. They will decide if they're going to continue to give you their attention after the first 20 or 30 seconds. So this isn't the time for all the pleasantries and niceties you hear most speakers start with. I'm so glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me. Wow, hasn't the weather been crazy lately? So, did anyone see the big game last night? That's the way most speakers spend the first 20 seconds of their talk. It's boring, nobody cares, it's forgetful. You do something different. Use an attention-getting device, such as a personal story. Ask a thought-provoking question. Give them a startling statistic, or make an unexpected statement. Get their attention. The next step is the need step. State the need or problem clearly. And don't think that just because you said there was a need that you can stop there. The audience must believe that there really is a need. So what's the problem that needs to be solved? Why is it a problem? This is where you start to tap into that logical brain with facts, statistics, logical, rational details. Convince them this need is real and it must be resolved. After you've convinced them of the need, then you're ready to move on to the satisfaction step. Bring your answer to the need, the problem. And yes, you must convince your audience that this is the best way to satisfy the need. There may be objections. There may be ideas in your audience's minds that they know a better solution. This is where you appeal to their logic, once again showing statistics and facts, reasons why your answer is the best answer. Now we move on to what Monroe really contributed to the 1930s world of persuasion, appealing to emotions with the visualization step. Tap into your audience's ability to imagine, to visualize what their world would be like with your solution and or without your solution. Ask them to visualize as you paint them a picture with your words. Go negative. What are the bad things that could happen? And then go positive. What are the good things that could happen? Which scenario do they want in life? You're tapping into their emotional brain when you do this. If you have time, take them on both the positive and negative journeys so they can begin to feel the difference based on whether they adopt your satisfaction to the need. But if you're short on time, focus on the negative, the pain, the loss, the defeat they will experience if they don't listen to your persuasive advice. People would rather avoid pain than achieve gain. So help them to feel the pain of not taking your advice. And when they feel that pain, then they're ready for your call to action step. You see, persuasion doesn't matter if your audience doesn't do something. You've just wasted everyone's time. So what do you want your audience to do? How do you want them to change? Call them to action. This needs to be the first thing you decide on when you start to craft your speech. What do you want the audience member to do as a result of hearing your speech? Now make sure you're asking your audience to do something they really can do. Make sure it's within their ability to actually do it. It has to be something within their control. Don't ask your audience to bring about world peace by next Thursday. It's not going to happen. So there you have it. Monroe's motivated sequence. All the steps you need to start getting people to do what you want them to do. Attention, need, satisfaction, visualization, and action. I'm Dr. Richard C. Harris. Happy persuading!